I'm I'm always worried about the notion of resilience, and I'm worried about the number of resilience stories I hear on the news and in advertisements. Isn't that person amazing because they have lived through that and I'm doing it? I oftentimes feel like it's primarily a resistance against seeing how many people get hurt and how many people are traumatized and the pervasiveness of trauma in our society. Okay? So I see it as a feel-good type thing to keep people from really facing the reality that we are right now raising millions of kids who won't have the skills to raise a family and to have a good job when they grow up, because their social situation and school system are just too bad, and we don't want to pay taxes, and so get some thing in place that makes it possible for these kids to become contributing members of society. But one of these kids is going to make it, and you're going to say, wow, isn't that kid amazing? Let's all celebrate that kid. And it's a way of, and let's ignore everybody else. I'm suspicious. I'm also suspicious about it because in my practice, I have seen astounding musicians, artists, scientists who the world lauds for their amazing accomplishments, but I know the other parts of them, and they are broken, self-injurious, unable to get close to people, profoundly lonely, but they have a good act in public and they do just fine. And people say, isn't that person great? And they say, maybe she is. And maybe she goes home and cries herself to sleep or cuts herself to sleep. And so I'm very suspicious about all that stuff. But we do know something about resilience. And it's very clear, and it's a social issue, and it should be by public policy, and that is that if you have a secure attachment bond, you become much more resilient. So anybody who has somebody who unconditionally loves them is likely to not get tired. Because when you feel overwhelmed and terrified, the person will hold you and say, I'll take care of it until you have recovered. That's by far the single most important predictor of resilience. And that means that if you have loving parents who are really there for you, you're probably not going to get PTSD. If you get abused and neglected and people don't look after you, it's very likely you'll get PTSD. So what's increasingly becoming clear is that the safety is in the attachment bond. The issue is not the trauma per se. The issue is what is the environment that holds you when bad things happen. And so, a fairly old study by now, Amy Werner studied all of the kids born on the island of Kauai in 1958. Smart woman, because the island of Kauai is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And she went there every year to study all the kids on the island of Kauai. All of these kids had terrible childhoods and traumatic experiences. So what were the great predictors? The outcome is one, having an adult who takes an overriding interest in you and says, I'll make sure that you're going to be okay. The second thing was a strong belief system. Okay? So people who were Jehovah's Witnesses or fundamentalist Christians or fundamentalist Muslims could say there is a purpose to all this, a meaning to all that, very protective. A study was done in Israel of scout attacks in three communities, one an Orthodox community, one sort of a religious community that not ultra-Orthodox, one a secular community, the ultra-Orthodox community did better, the fanatics did better than the liberals. Okay? So the clear ideology does help you protect. And the third thing is the ability to take action. Being able to do something. That's the very important thing. We saw it after Hurricane Katrina, where people were prevented from building their own homes, the worst PTSD ever in any American city, as a result of Halliburton doing cleaning up instead of people being helped to do own cleaning up. So you need to take an active role in your own recovery. Don't just sit and talk about how bad you feel. Go to Home Depot or somebody who doesn't support Donald Trump, as Home Depot does, and buy building materials and rebuild your house. Very important to take an active role in your recovery. Do stuff.